back to the channel. Make yourself at home, make yourself cozy, because we got some spicy stuff for you right now. I was about to work on another video about the Lakers Heat series, right? And then I get an ESPN notification saying Doc Rivers is out as the Clippers head coach. What does this mean? Wow. First of all, big bold move. I did not see that coming. I made a video about this and I was like, yeah, there's definitely a head coaching problem, because as the head coach, you need to be in charge of the culture. You need to be able to take out players when they're not effective, like Harrell. Like, Harrell was getting bodied by Jokic time and time again. He was a huge minus for their team, but he still played 33 minutes. You can't do it as a head coach. You got to be able to make adjustments on the fly. And I did not see that happening. Doc Rivers is one of the lone black coaches in the league at a time where there's so much talk about social justice and stuff, right? He was very respected regardless of his race, right? He was very respected. He did some things with the Celtics, but now after that horrific loss, the general idea was that he's maybe a tad bit overrated, man. He probably is an overrated coach. 3-1 leads blown, man. It's tough. There's no doubt that Clippers team had almost twice, if not 3 times, the amount of talent that the Nuggets team had. They didn't have the attitude and there were no adjustments. Kawhi himself, this is the difference between Kawhi and LeBron. Kawhi's not that vocal leader, so he wasn't really getting. I mean, you had people like Lou Will, who was actually one of the leaders besides Doc, going to the club during the bubble. So they weren't really all connected on that mission to win a championship. And it is what it is. Now, when I said that Kawhi needs to do what LeBron did and take up that mantle, lead GM, take up the responsibility for the success, because this is the first time Kawhi has had his own team. He made this team not from scratch, but he is in a position to remake this team in his image, as LeBron has done about 3 times already. And one of the first things you do is you get a head coach you can trust to make those minor adjustments throughout a game. I don't know if this had anything to do with Kawhi at all, actually. But for the Clippers organization to say, no, that's not acceptable at all. We know your pedigree, we know what you stand for, but we can't have that. The Clippers, they're showing their letter of intent, and it's going to be interesting to see. Kawhi and Paul George are in their final years of their contract. It's win or go home, man. I think Kawhi might resign because he left a lot to go play at home, right? The LA is his home, so I think he's gonna resign. Paul George is a question mark, but yeah, it's win now time. They're showing that anything less than a conference finals or a finals appearance is horrible, and especially in the fashion that they did it to. So props to Clippers, respect for Doc. He's gonna quickly get another job if he wants one. If he wants another job, he'll get another job in the league. He's a pretty decent coach, but he's not elite level. When I think of the top coaches in the league, Greg Popovich, number 1. Some other good coaches, Brad Stevens, Nick Nurse, Eric Spoelstra, even Frank Vogel, man. We forget what he did with Indiana. Dude, yeah, the Indiana Pacers with Frank Vogel was actually fairly successful, even though they had Paul George on that team. Yeah, I can't think of the other coaches on top of my head, but those are the elite coaches, and Doc Rivers isn't really anywhere near there. So that's all I really have to say about this. I think I droned on a little bit more than I needed to, but if you made it here, if you made it to the end of this video, that means you are ahead of the curve. You have a basketball mind that is ahead of the casuals, ahead of the so-called intellectuals, and you're on a different plane. You know good basketball content when you hear it. So put something down in the comments. I'd love to have a discussion. Any thoughts, ideas, doesn't even have to be about this video. If you want me to make a video about something else, man, anything, man. Stay safe, and until next time, peace.